Alrighty. I had to get my go live notices up, and I think this one worked, but let me make sure because Instagram is slow. All right, there we go. We Gucci. Go. Got to save this. Let's see, 3679. Vegas. Add character. See. 6. Oh, 267. That's okay. It's supposed to be 26, but all right. I need this to be 10080. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to the stream. She got a bad report yesterday. So the vet, they have this grading system, like 1 to, I think it's 10, where like 1 is emaciated, 5 is ideal, and 10 is morbidly obese. She got a 9. The text gave her a 9. And Dr. Dees was like, she was so apologetic. She's like, I would give her an 8 to a 9. She's so sweet. She just doesn't want to tell you your cat's bad. So yeah, I think it's actually going to work out. I mean, the treats are gone. And I'm going to give her, she gets a cup in the morning and a cup in the evening. And one of those is going to be very low carb, kind of a good healthy one, besides the ones that she really loves, which is okay, but not the best. But I think taking out the treats is going to be the best part, because those are just kind of like McDonald's for a cat. So come on, there we go. This is, I'm not sure what to do with this one. This is Banana Berry Bliss. And the banana is what is, I'm just not sure about it. It's good, but I'm just not sure if I like it or not. All right, so what I'm doing today is one of the very few free things they give you apparently at the Vegas Expo is like a, I guess especially if you're a new vendor, they do a countdown of new properties, and they give you a kind of a shout out on social media. So I got number 26, so I've got to incorporate 26 in there somehow, because I guess I'm going to be 26 days until the show. And I think I'll do this here, and then I'll do the characters around it. 305. Yeah, whoops, there we go. She's definitely heavy. Apparently I already grouped. I don't know if I want 26 to be that big, because I want the characters to actually stand out more than the 26. Second thought, let me look at her email real quick, because she did send me some examples. Oh, what was her name? Social media countdown, there we go. All right, right, high quality imagery. You can use example formats here, here. Please don't play music. Okay, good. All right, well, Paramount phoned it in. NGA phoned it in. 6 days. Okay, let me see. Actually did something pretty cool. Days. So they're adding the days in there. So I would rather incorporate it. The logo. Okay. All right. All right. I got my brief. Please ensure. Okay. Duh. Okay. Please ensure you have rights permissions for all submitted imagery. Well, yeah, I do. I am creator of said imagery. All right. So I'm gonna make this even a little bit smaller. All right, we're gonna change this format here. I'm gonna make these balloons. Draw these down here. Okay, I need more characters. I need... I got Momo, Floof's Happy. Maybe, let's see. I'm gonna give Granny Bear. And then maybe I'll put Boop here. Make this smaller. I need to fit more characters. And I gotta do a Pudge. And I'm gonna do a Tuxie. And then I'll maybe put the logo down there. Maybe down there. Let's see. Sure what I was doing there. Oh, big stretch! Air Biscuit, big stretch too. Right? Let's see. I think that'll be good. That'll be good. That'll stand out, hopefully. We'll see. And now I gotta make these bubble balloons, or like, you know, bubble letters, sort of, because they're balloons. Hey Clint, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Who do I want to start with? I think I'll start with happy. I'll work back to front, I guess. Darn it. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well. So today I'm working on, it's the first time I'm going there. It's the Vegas Licensing Expo, and that's in late May. And it's really, hopefully to get some good licensing deals, maybe some inroads into places like Barnes and Noble and more like Box Lunch. I don't know what more, I mean, because Box Lunch kind of stands on its own, but places like Hobby Lobby, other places where we can kind of do some sort of a product deal, maybe additional companies that have connections similar to the one that I use to facilitate the Box Lunch stuff. So I did one deal with ThinkGeek when they were still around, and it was actually one I handled myself, which was kind of crazy, but it's not onboarding documents. Their compliance documents weren't that ridiculous. So I was like, okay, cool, I can do this. But Box Lunch and by extension Hot Topic's the parent company, their compliance is like 86 pages long, and you have to have all this insurance, and so I was just like, I don't know if I can actually, I mean, I know I can produce the pins, I know I can physically get all of this done, but so I just in the interest of keeping things simple and taking stress off of myself, I decided to go with a licensing company that works with them regularly, that already has all of the stuff in place, already has all the insurance, all of the production pathways. And so I've been working with them to get the products into Box Lunch. So someone similar to that has a different set of companies that they have relationships with, because apparently these guys that do the licensing, they have relationships with like one will have a working relationship with, for example, Hot Topic and Box Lunch. Others may have inroads at Barnes and Noble or Target or something like that. Not everyone has, you know, entry into every retail space. So we're looking something like that. And so what this is they give you, hey Ariana, welcome to the stream, and Sharon, welcome, happy Tuesday. So I was just talking about the licensing expo, which is what I'm doing this for. We get, as a new company, I get a little bit of free promo, which is like one of the only things you get free at this convention. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, chairs and tables. I just, it makes me so angry, because they like charge, the cheapest chair is this like fall apart folding chair, and it's like $100. And so they don't, so you basically are paying for the slab, and you either, you know, kit out your booth yourself, or you pay the convention center to do it. And the convention center prices are just, they just melt your brain. So, but yeah, so anyway, there's a little bit of a like a social media build-up hype train, and this is part of it. So I'm making an illustration that kind of promos the characters and the brand. Will show up on day 26 on their social profiles, and hopefully garner a little interest and inquiry into the brand. Yeah, this one does. A lot of the professional, like anime and pop culture conventions, usually that's all included. Like you'll have table and chairs, and automatically. Pipe and drape automatically. And some of them give you carpet, but not a lot anymore. Now it's usually just tables, chairs, and anything else you have to either, you know, if you want carpet, you've got to purchase that. If you want electricity, you got to purchase that. The only exception to that is San Diego. They give you carpet, table chairs, and electricity, and move-in, which is nice. And actually one of the few conventions left that actually treat vendors well. You used to get, at anime conventions, they used to serve you lunch at some of them, because you'd fill out, I think it was A-Kon, the last one of those. You would fill out a little bit of a, you know, what you wanted, like sandwich, you know, whatever options, and they'd bring it to your booth. That was nice. That was cool. No mas, however. But yeah, so. But yeah, it seems like the pro ones that are like this, the licensing, the toy fair, and it may also be a function of where it's at. It's at Mandalay Bay in Vegas. And so it could also be that's, you know, if they went to a different, I don't think they could be handled at a different convention center. But I don't even think Yavits did that. But then again, that was New York Comic Con. It's a pop culture convention. It's a little different beast. At any rate, whoops. All right. So I'm putting on, I want to get a good range of the characters. I've got Momo on here, Tuxie right now. I've got Granny Bear, Happy Paper, Pudge, Floof, and Miss Boop right here. So I think that'll be a good range, and I'll show them interacting with stuff. And it's interesting because I was watching a couple of videos on, you know, how to go to, you know, how to licensing expo, basically. And so if you ever, a good example of this would be in the last year, Snoopy merchandise has just kind of exploded everywhere. And, you know, I saw it, of course, I'm not complaining because I love Snoopy, but it's like, you know, you'd see Snoopy stuff in Williams-Sonoma, you'd see it in, you know, you'd see it in Sam's Club or Costco on t-shirts, you'd see it in Uniqlo on their kind of section of pop culture designs and t-shirts and stuff. You'd see just, I feel like I see him everywhere now, and it's the 75th anniversary. So that's what they were doing last year, and that's kind of where all those deals get put together. They, IP owners as well as retailers and licensors kind of come together at this place, and they get meetings with each other, and that's where those deals come together. So someone from Williams-Sonoma came to Snoopy and said, hey, I want to do a Snoopy Doghouse cookie jar for Christmas this next year. And so that's where that deal happens. So it's kind of like the toy fair, but a little bit more towards retail property. The toy fair is, of course, more focused on toys and those kind of things, but there's still that action here. It's just a little broader in scope. And I think that I want to say the toy fair is still in New York, but it may not be. I have some recollection that the toy fair moved from New York to Vegas, or from Vegas to New York. It's one or the other. And I can't quite remember what it is. I kind of want to think it's in New York right now. So trying a little something different. And it was stressful too, because I'm looking at, you know, my booth for San Diego is wildly different because it's than what's needed here. Because the audience, this is at San Diego, it's a retail setting. So it is a retail shop, and you have to show all of the merchandise. You have to have space for storage and backstock, but also a cohesive, you know, storefront that tells the story of the brand, that kind of immerses people as soon as you come in. There are elements of that you have to maintain here, but I don't need the product volume. I just need the immersion, if that makes sense. But also immersion that can fit into a minivan, or immersion that can be hand carried in, because that's what I'm doing. The load in is kind of, it's on Sunday, I believe it is, and you either sign up and pay for the union to cart things in, or you get one cart load for $100 that is only allowed 6 items on it. And God, I thought Yavits was bad with union. I thought LA was bad with union, but anyway, I'm not going to complain anymore. But I'm excited to go. It's just some of those ticky-tacky things it just makes you shake your head. It reminds me of this one. Oh God, okay. So here was So I believe it was in 2008 or 9. It was right around the time when, I think it was 2008, because that was the last. 2007 was Long Beach and Anime Expo. And then Anime Expo, this whole thing was brought about because they lost the Anaheim Convention Center. They had a tiff with the convention center because they have to be on July 4th weekend. And there was a conflict where they couldn't get July 4th. So they went to Long Beach. And then Long Beach was like, heck no, we're not having you back. And Anime Expo then arrived at the LACC Downtown Convention Centers next to Staples. And so there were some growing pains with moving there. And a lot of it, I think, had to... And there was also, I think, a company change, like an ownership change. The SPJA turned it over to kind of a management company, and that had no experience heretofore with conventions. They were mainly mall and that type of thing. So when we got there, we found out that the move-in, which they forced you to use, the palletization program, was based on weight. And if you're an exhibitor, certain exhibitors, their booths are built with grid wall, metal grid wall. So that realistically would result in about, something like a $15,000 move-in bill just to get your grid in if it's based on weight. And so we were pissed because we got there and they're like, well, it's going to be $700 to move your stuff in. And we're like, well, can we hand carry? They're like, no, you have to use this. You have to pay $700. And so we were pissed. We were complaining to a couple of our friends that were also on the loading dock. And oh my God, I don't know if I should tell this story, but actually I've already started. I'm already knee deep in it. So the girl was just like, wait, who are you talking to? Okay, hold on. She comes back. She goes over there. She comes back to us and she's like, you guys are all good. She flashed her boobs at the union guy and got free move-in for us for that. I was just like, what did you do? And she was like, I just flashed my boobs. And I was like, yes, she was a sweetheart, a little loopy, but yeah. So yeah, that was how they dealt with the union at that one. It was kind of funny. I was just like, you did not do that. She's like, yeah, I did. I did it for our booth too. We have all this grid wall. Yeah, she was a character. But yeah, so that was one way to deal with the union. It had to have been 2008. It had to have been 2008 because it was the first year at the LACC. And it was a mess. Moving in, doing everything. trying to think. That's probably, I've got some other vendor stories. Nothing quite as good as that. That was kind of like the cake, and it has held the record. Mostly, it kind of have character sketches of the other vendors. It was always funny to see. I don't know if he's still around, but we called him Yowie Brian. He had he owned the big Yowie Land booth where they sold a bunch of dojins. Always super loud, super obnoxious. So one year, it was the year that the World Cup was in, I don't remember where they were, but the whole thing that year was vuvuzelas. And so he brought them to the convention center. And he was back, we were back to back with him. And we're used to Yowie Brian and his antics because we were kind of placed for whatever reason, like at ACON, we'd always be next to him. And so you kind of become ear blind to it. And so we're fine, cool. He'd come over and say, hey guys, if we're, too loud, just let us know. Just, put your head through the window, through the curtain and tell us to quiet down. And, but this lady across from us, she was not ear blind to him. And you could just kind of see, it was like a cartoon character slowly steaming up. Like, her face would get red, just steam would come out of her ears. And then finally she snapped. And she marched over and just gave him a piece of her mind about these vuvuzelas and all the tooting they were doing. There's another one, kind of the same thing. Really quiet. I called him Quiet Guy. So there was Cool Guy and Quiet Guy. Both of them were, they were just kind of general merchandise booths, just general anime stuff. Cool Guy, he got his name because there was a kid that was trying to kind of barter with him to get a BB gun, but the kid was underage. And so the kid was one point, was like, come on, you can sell it to me. You look like a cool guy. And he's like, oh, I'm not a cool guy. I'm not a cool guy at all. And, it just, that name stuck with him. But the other one was Quiet Guy. And he just never talked. He was very stoic, very silent until one day he finally got fed up with Yowie Brian yelling. And it just, because I was standing there and just, it was kind of a lull in traffic. He was right over here. Yowie Brian was yelling, and just all of a sudden, he just, at the top of his lungs, said, shut the F up. It just, this tiny, quiet, never makes a peep, just bursting like that. I couldn't stop laughing. I had to turn around and just I could not stop laughing. You always kind of see characters like that. All right, so we got Happy up here. I should maybe place him off a little bit more, but I am going to draw. Let me see here. Did I group? What did I group here? Nothing? All right, that's fine. Let's give this guy some shading. I'm gonna go over here and turn my fan a little bit because it's getting a little toasty. Oh, really? Really? Oh, what was that? What was that? You did get a compliment from all of the vets despite the bad weight rating. They said both she and Tux were very, very sweet kitties. So that was nice. Apparently they get a lot of temperamental cats in there. They're all just very, very fawning over how nice they are. I turned it right at the, because I get airflow coming up here, but I also get it on my legs, which is nice. It just helps because I have the sun kind of streaming in over here, so I get baked from this side. I'm gonna group these guys together. Oh. I think I might need to move Happy back. Are here a little bit. Something beeped. All right, so I've got them. I'm gonna go ahead and work on this group of characters right here, and then I'll do Pudge and this floof right here. Oh, I saw a really good, I've got a good movie to recommend. I watched on Amazon Prime. It's called Crime 101, and it, I would, so when I think of a cat and mouse movie, immediately, what is it? Oh, shoot, the one with Tommy Lee Jones and Harrison Ford. What is that? The train wreck. Oh, good grief. The second one was U.S. Marshals. Starts with an F. Is it? I gotta look it up now. Yes, Fugitive. Yes, thank you. So immediately I think of The Fugitive, and this one is a little bit of cat and mouse, but it's got a really big cast. Nick Nolte's in there for a little bit. There's the main is Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo and Halle Berry. Chris Hemsworth is kind of this brilliant thief. He plans out these high-dollar heists, but nobody gets hurt. And the detective is Mark Ruffalo, and he kind of stumbles on this pattern of these heists, and so he kind of gets on the scent, and nobody believes him, and so it's kind of like a little bit of a cat and mouse. Well, not, it is a cat and mouse kind of, and Halle Berry is a insurance underwriter, I guess, or whatever. She basically gets accounts from very high net worth people to insure their homes, their collections, their weddings, whatever that is. And so they come together to, because she has knowledge of, you know, these high dollar transactions her company is insuring. So she kind of works with him to do one of those, and it's really it's a good one. It kind of keeps you very it's not on the edge of your seat interested, but I was locked in for the whole movie. Sometimes they get boring and I just kind of zone and start playing, you know, Clash of Clans, but this one keeps you interested. And it was funny because I was talking to my parents on Easter, and we usually exchange movies that we've seen. And I was telling them about that one, and they were like, "Oh, Susie just told us about that one. She told her about Crime 101 and another one, and they had looked up the first one. They just looked them both up. The first one came up, and Crime 101 was the second one. So they were just about to start watching that one." And I got a couple of recommendations from them as well. I think I also saw the new Jason Statham movie, Shelter. And that was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I like The Beekeeper better, but it was good. Good Statham movie. Here's me when you said cat and mouse movie. My brain started thinking of movies with actual cats and mice. I still love this scene in the at the dam before Harrison Ford leaps off. You know, the whole confrontation where they finally meet, and for the first time, he's like, "I didn't kill my wife," and Tommy Lee Jones just comes back, just deadpan. "I don't care." He's such a good character in that. In my defense, I'm busy cataloging picture books during this. Oh no. I'm not sure that her face is right, but I'm gonna move that out a little bit. Oh, big stretch. I'm gonna draw her tail even though it's not gonna be seen. If I move these guys around, I'll be happy I did. I heard they're coming out with a new Beekeeper, a Beekeeper 2. So she's going to be holding on to this one. I feel like he needs to have his eyes moved a little bit. Oh. All right. I'm happy with that. And I think I'll go ahead and group. Did I group my? I didn't group my. All right. Let me go ahead and group the balloons. And then I'm gonna group Mo in this floof. So if I need to, again, move anybody around, it won't be a problem. And next I'll have Granny Bear here. So let's go ahead and do Granny Bear, and then Tuxie will be kind of on this corner up here. Granny Bear a little bit bigger because she's about the same height-wise as Momo. Your ear is a little on the big side, but I'll see. Tail needs a little help. Nine. Oh, that's the line I need to erase. Got this kind of her chest right here. Speaking of, I got a little gift from Coconut yesterday. You probably can't see it, but I had forgotten that when going to the vet, Coconut needs to be loaded into her carrier first, because if she sees and realizes what's happening, you load Tuxie first, she hides, makes herself unavailable and very hard to catch. And so that happened. And I finally got her cornered and picked her up, and she dug right into my chest, and that was not pleasant. But yeah, I gotta remember, always load her first, because she knows. Tuxie's just like a rag doll. He doesn't really, you pick him up, he is what I imagine a rag doll would be. Fat Cat was like that too. You picked her up and she's just limp and just kind of leans into you. And Tuxie does that too. And you know, he's just a rag doll baby when you pick him up. And especially if he's sleepy. But I kind of have to be sneaky in clipping her claws too, because if she realizes that you want to clip her claws, she will also make herself unavailable and very hard to catch. But she works on those things, and she very much needs that clipping. It's funny, you can see she's a southpaw. Her left paw is always much sharper than the right. And it just, I mean, she brings those to very fine points. And I usually gauge it's about time when because she needs a little bit on, you know, her blankets and stuff. When I see her picking up the blanket, I usually, you know, she starts getting stuck. That's when I'm like, okay, we gotta plan this and get the clippers, because she's getting stuck. And I'm sure that does not feel good. And she had actually gotten her claws clipped, I think, the day before, which was good, because if she hadn't, then this would be much worse. Because that was what she did with blunt claws. All right, let's draw in my Alright, and I'll go ahead and cut this so the string is falling behind the balloon. Alright. If they change what day I'm on, that's going to be bad. But they shouldn't. It should be okay. Alright, let's get Tuxie going here and hit save, because I haven't done that in a while. I might do like a fluffy cloud bounce shape, or maybe like a marquee or something like this with the logo. All right, Tuxie. Probably needs to be, he's a little bit bigger than Momo here. So let's kind of bring him down just a smidge, because he's not that far in front of her that I would have that big of a proportion difference. I need to get coconut in here. Maybe I'll have her on top of the sign, maybe. Maybe I can have him holding on to coconut here. That would make sense. Yeah, I like that leg better. But I need to bring it up because that is the farther leg, and that will not be standing in front of the nearer leg. Even though I think both of these legs are going to be blocked by coconut. Let's see. Change the angle. Changed it a little bit much. That's all right. So I'm going to put coconut. Let me just rough sketch her in here like this. It's going to be like just be a little bigger. Kind of want to have her standing like this and kicking out a foot. And I might wait, oops, I'm gonna do that. I'll wait on his arm until I've got coconut all figured out here. And I can't see much of anything. gonna have to fix these eyes up a little bit, I think. Make Coconut a little smaller because I don't want her to completely block Tuxie. What's up, miss? Oh. Oh. Oh, big stretch. Sort of big stretch. Half big stretch. I'm gonna need to make this a little bit longer. Unless... Maybe I can just bring her tail end over here a smidge. There we go. So that's here, and I just need to cut off this little bit of booty. Smooth that out. Smooth this out. I feel like her eye is not quite right. I feel like this one needs to be a little wider. See if I can move that hand. Oh, that's not good. All right, let's try it this way. or what I did there. Okay. So let's move her, and I can get rid of my rough sketch there. Let's move her up a little bit. And now I can go into Tuxie, and I can have his arm right here. Now I can finish Tuxie. Oops, wait, no, I wanna draw his sweater in first. I'm gonna leave the overlap here for a minute, and then I'm gonna come in here, do floof and pudge. Oh, and I need to draw Boop. I forgot Boop. I wonder if his eyes are too big. No, that's a little better. All right, there's that. And I think I will move these guys over and up a little bit. I do have to still fit Pudge in here. And I don't want him to kind of... So I feel like I might have to condense this a little bit more even so. We'll see. Booth is done, however. Seem to have, oops, seem to have not put these guys in the correct group. So now we're still grouped. I still have all my pieces. Here we go. I'll go ahead and move you guys over. Make Happy a little bigger. Loof will be right there, and Pudge is going to be about right here. So it's good that I have all of these guys still independent. And maybe I'll move you up a little bit. All right, now I can have Pudge here, and then I'll have room for the logo here. So that should work. I'm gonna have to make Pudge pretty big. Let's just start. About the same size. Now it's a little smaller. Got a little bit much booty there. Gotta rein in that booty, Pudge. don't quite like his eyes. It looks like he's staring into nothing. I need to fiddle with his face a bit, I think. Maybe move him over like that. Yeah, that might work. Just to kind of have that edge. And he's about as tall as, make him a little taller. A little better. Maybe I just had his nose off a bit. I think I can move this off. Now if I make it smaller so that more of the characters are on here, that gives me more room for logo, which I think I can find if I open up. Let's see. I just cleaned my desktop, so it shouldn't be that hard to find. Oh, damn it. I accidentally opened another version of Illustrator. I've got to remove this version. Yeah, this is the older version. All right. All right. Away with you. When I was trying to troubleshoot with the Adobe Tech, they installed 29.5 to test the version if that's what was making my blob brush misbehave. And I guess that was set to be the automatic what opens when I double click Illustrator files, and I just need to remove that version completely so it'll reset to, I think this is 30.01 or something. Let me see. Yeah, this is 30.01. So let's grab center. There we go. And now I can draw the little marquee around it, or not marquee, or sign, whatever, edge border. That'll tie it together. And then maybe I'll go through and put them on grass or something. Kind of like that idea. Just leave that grass idea there. And this will echo, because I think what I have on the booth right now is something like this. And that's at the base of my character soup where all the characters are together. So I want to not use as much space, but I still want to have something. All right, let's go in here and let's do it this way. Let's see, I can do like this. And I feel like this would be better. All right, I got that done. I want to bring, all right, I've got an idea. I want to bring these guys up a little bit. I think I'm going to bring my balloons down. Still shows everybody. All right. or I can just make this smaller. Make everybody a little bit larger. And now I can draw in my grass. Make my little balloon there a little bit shorter. I don't like to push close to the edge. Gloria, hello, welcome to the stream. All right, so there's that. I've got my grass in there. I'm gonna do a nice little background. I think I can come in here and refine Tuxie and Coco because she's standing in front of them, and I'm pretty certain that I won't be using a lot of these extra lines that are in the way. Hey Dee, welcome to the stream. Good to see you as always. A lot of pieces of Tuxie that I can erase, because she's going to be blocking everything over here, so it reads a little better. I think to make things simpler, I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Okay. Whatever this stuff is. All right, and then on, get rid of okay. All right, I think that's a little more understandable as far as lines go. I'll keep them as a group, colored as a group, and movable as a group. I need to figure out what else I can use this graphic for, because I feel like I could replace the balloons. I could replace the balloons pretty easily with something else. And maybe just, I could do heart balloons or something else, some other text, and then get multiple uses out of this, because I don't want it to just be for the show, even though that's the primary reason I made it. I want to get a little bit more use out of it, I think, because it's cute. Alright, then I've got everybody layered back here. Let's drop some shadows in on Momo and Flu. And then I'll have, I still have a few more characters to drop shadows in on. I can go ahead and take care of that. It's only, is it really only 12:48? I figured, I guess I did start earlier today than usual. Really? It's just 12:48? All right. Got this done pretty quick. Well, it's not done, but lined at any rate. All right, you guys are good. I need to do a little bit more for G. Oh, I forgot Boop. I need to drop Boop in here on top of Happy. And I got a line in there anyway, or sorry, shadow in there anyway, so I can do that really quick here. Let's do some quick shadows on Floof. And in case you've never been to my streams before, I am working in Adobe Illustrator, and I pretty much use this for everything. I do a little bit in Procreate, but for the most part, I'm working on Illustrator, and I really only use one layer most of the time, and I keep my form of like traditional layering in say a Photoshop file would be these layers and groups. So I kind of change the stacking order of those. I keep them, all the characters and their colors grouped so I can easily move them around if I need to. And it looks pretty messy in this stage because everybody's transparent. So once I get the color in, the layering will become more clear, and then I can kind of clean up the things that I may have left out or any lines that are confusing. All right, so let me go in and drop Miss Boop over here in Happy's group. Let's see, I want to have her about right here. Uh-oh. Here we go. Yes, your heating pad had timed out. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. A little stretch? Just a little stretch? Oh, also, this is Coconut. She is the inspiration for this character right here. And she is gracing it. Oh, no, I thought she was gonna... No, she's kind of still taking a bath, so... She's gracing us with her presence today. She doesn't always do that. Small stretch, yes. Just to keep you interested. I gotta keep them wanting more. I can't give all the goods away. Now I can position her. And let's make sure she's big enough. I need to make her a little bigger. So the way I do, well, and probably, yeah. So the way I keep sizing consistent between characters is I kind of have comparisons. So these two are almost always pictured together, Lady Boop and Granny Bear. So my sizing for Miss Boop is she fits right between GB's ears. So I want to always make sure that she's just about that size when I make her illustration. And that'll probably be about the same as she is here, as Happy is not really that far behind the group. He's standing there. You know, this Floof is close enough that Floof thinks he can reach the balloon, so she's still going to be about the same size as she would be as if she was sitting on Granny Bear's head. I'm going to move the face line here, tip her face over a little bit. Trying to figure out what angle I want her body to be on. That's about right. Uh-oh. Time to turn. Time to toast the cocoa on the other side. You are so sleepy. I don't know where she is. All right. I think that'll work. I think that'll do. Do you ever thought bubble letters was a waste of your time in school? Certainly not. You ever told bubble letters were a waste of your time? You can say no. I used that. You know, I was always excited to wrap the textbooks. So I'm sure, I don't think this even exists anymore. Do kids even get textbooks anymore? I think they all get laptops, don't they? At any rate, when I was in school, you got your textbooks for the year and you were expected to go home and wrap them with paper bags to protect the covers. And I was always so excited to wrap it because then I was like, I'm going to decorate it and I'm going to do all this stuff. And then I would just, you know, like get blank page paralysis. I didn't know what to do as soon as the darn thing was wrapped and ready to go and be decorated. And it always ended up horrible, but it just had all these plans. And then I was presented with a book ready to go, and yeah, just doodles, stupid stuff. Nothing awesome ever. It was all the same doodles that go in my notebooks. But, you know, it was the thought. It was always fun to doodle. Yes. And see, you know, I don't know why I never took advantage of stickers. I would have stickered the heck out of them, but why didn't I think of that? Stickers were, you know, maybe not as readily available, I guess, but I mean, surely I could have found stickers somewhere. I would have done like a sticker explosion. I think I still remember how to do it. So you get, let's see, this is how I would do it. Let me just draw it out here. So you get your textbook. No, let's do full 100%. We're leaning into it. So we get our textbook. Got our pages, all that good stuff. So you'd have, what I would do is I would get the paper bag. What was it? You would cut a little, so paper bag was like this. And I would always cut this and fold this edge in. And then you would fold this edge in to create a nice clean top. And then these edges would fold in like that. Like you're wrapping a present. What was it? It was 1, 2, and then 3 to clean up the edge. And then you do tape. You know. Yeah, see, why did we never think of stickers? It would have been so perfect. I mean, I've got a whole drawer of just stickers, and I am always looking for an excuse to use them. But yeah. I remember there was a period where some of my friends were getting the puff paint and they were doing puff paint on theirs. I remember that. I'm trying to remember if I actually got a hold of some puff paint and did that. I know I had a puff paint t-shirt that I wore the heck out of, and it was just horrible. I would like wear it and wash it, and it just fell apart because I wore it so much and washed it so much. But I loved it because it was puff paint. Here's my outline color. I'll hit save. And I think I'll call the stream there. It's a good solid 2 hours. My go-to is this Curl Jelly Roll pens. Yes. Ah, nice. Always was good to find a good pen that had nice ink flow but didn't like bleed through the pages. And I would always like doodle in the margins and do stuff. Trying to think what my usual doodles were. I think it was always mostly just geometric shapes and stuff. It ended early. Oh, I just actually started early, Dee. Yeah, I had everything ready to go for once. So I actually kind of like being done a bit early because it's 1 o'clock, so I'm not as hungry as I would be at 2, but I'm still hungry, so I'll go get my lunch. But yeah, that's what I did today. I'll get this colored up tonight because it is due tomorrow. And I'll post that. I'll post a sneak peek of it on my stories. I don't think I'll do an inline regular post. I have something else to use for a post. I did another Tuxie Jones drawing, and I don't think I posted that. So I'll do that tonight because that's a really fun one. I did the scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark where Indiana Jones is running through the square, and you know the crowd parts, and there's this sword, the sword fight guy, and instead of battling him, he just takes out his gun and shoots him. So I have Tuxie. It's kind of at a little angle, so he's kind of obviously trying to get through the crowd. He sees the challenger, but it's a floof with a slice of pizza. And then I have Momo as Miriam being carried off in the jar in the background. So I think I'll post that. Let me see if I can bring that up. I had some pictures of it. I would like to rotate. There we go. Rotate. Done. All right, let me just blow this up. Actually, let's just turn the phone. Maybe you can see it better that way. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, I'll post that tonight, and I have some close-ups and processes. But yeah, I was like, well, I don't want a floof to sword fight, so what is this gonna be? And then I had the idea for Tuxie and the pizza. So I have him holding, he's just kind of just a sliver of the floof where you can see him preparing for battle, and you've got the slice of pizza, and Tuxie's like, So, and then I was really excited to draw Coconut in the urn or whatever it is, the big jar that Miriam gets carried off in. I've got these giant floofs carrying Coconut. So I'll show that. That'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. I will be back on Thursday with comics. And let me get my ending screen over here. And yeah, there we go. Thank you, Dee, Ariana, Sharon. Let's see. I had Clint was in here. Gloria was here. Chris was here. All my lurkers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you next time.